Hi, this is the old guy fighting the AI, fighting the digital, always. That's why I went to a record player, went back to a record player. I don't listen to much of music at all on the internet anymore. I throw on a record. I capture a feeling that is in my brain and muscle memory and my ear memory and my eye memory of analog records, 33 and a third. So I want to speak about that. I want to speak about strokes, head injuries. I've had both. I don't think there's such a thing as a minor stroke, but I had what might be considered a minor stroke about 3-4 years ago. I've had several traumatic brain injuries, one recent, and so I'll share about that right now. How that affected me in this morning's workout. So there I am. Oh, look at the rocks. This is a pretty place. So there I am, out on the trail, doing my thing. And all of a sudden I had this overwhelming feeling of claustrophobia. So I'm still recovering from a traumatic brain injury now, concussion. And I found that funny feelings and funny emotions can just show up out of nowhere that I normally wouldn't have, you normally wouldn't have. The same could be said for a stroke. I'm a retired RN. I worked with a lot of stroke patients, and it's the same thing. I like the one neuropsychologist said that this is an insult to the brain, these injuries. That pretty much covers it. Your brain receives an insult and tries to adjust. Initially with a traumatic brain injury or with a stroke, there's a release of protective chemicals that try to reset your brain and protect your brain. But those chemicals can also make you very confused. So I was out on the trail. I came around the corner, running around the corner. The moon hit my face. And all of a sudden, it triggered an overwhelming sense of see, that's the brain injury that doesn't allow me to find the word. So I'll find it for you. Here it is. An overwhelming sense of claustrophobia. We have to reroute things. Our brain will reroute things after a traumatic brain injury, a neurological insult like a stroke. We have to not get frustrated. We have to allow that process and be patient and kind with ourselves. Just like I showed you. Patient and kind. If you can get it, fine. If you can't, it's good. So when the moon hit my face, it was like a headlamp in the sky. It was like getting hit with a deer spotter. Remember that when you were kids and you would hit each other in the middle of the night, hit each other's eyes with that, million watt whatever, just for fun. I was suddenly confused, claustrophobic, and I really was wondering, where am I? What am I doing here? While I'm running now. So what I did was I did a quick assessment. We don't have to go off into an emotional tither when this type of feeling hits us. I became very pragmatic and did an emotionless assessment. Why am I feeling like this? Well, I'm starting to heat up. I had my hoodie on, sweatshirt. I had my hoodie on, sweatshirt, hoodie. I used a thick towel for a yoga mat. I had that wrapped around me, and I just got hit in the face. And I just got hit in the face with this, with the moon in the middle of a dark night. coming around the corner of that rock right there, down that way. So I thought, okay, that's the facts of the situation, me in my confusion. And so I didn't stop running because I was okay running. I wasn't falling over and I wasn't doing any of that. And then I thought, okay, what did I just do? Well, I just did my weightlifting station. I lift with rocks. And I'm going to my gate posts for dips. Okay, so let's go to the gate post for dips. And this is all while I'm confused and feeling claustrophobic. And on the way there, I'm going, oh my, I am starting to get very hot all of a sudden. It might have been from, that sudden bolt of light in my face. Or it was probably from lifting the heavier weights that I had in the last station. And so I stopped. I took the sweatshirt off. I removed the towel. Got a drink of water before I did anything. Then I did the dips, and then things started calming down. Because I did the things that I know to do, that I can safely do, when I got hit with this sudden confusion. Now, if you haven't had a stroke, if you haven't had a traumatic brain injury, you will not understand that, although you've observed it. You won't understand how that feels. You can appreciate it, like those in the medical field, those in the psychological field. You can appreciate it. Those whose loved ones have had this happen to them and they've been there through the process, you can appreciate it. It's hard to describe how it feels, but it's all of a sudden being absolutely lost on a road with a million signs telling you which way to go, being absolutely lost because of overwhelming confusion that just floods the brain. So this is what I did for it. Pragmatically assessed the situation, pulled back from all the overflow of emotions, the fear, the panic, just pulled back, stopped. And then within that framework, in my mind, I assessed, what am I doing? Where am I going next? Where did I just come from? Why am I feeling like this? That's probably the most important one. So that's my tip for you, for us old guys and old gals. We're going to start. Some of us are going to have strokes. Some of us have head injuries. Some of us are going to have a fall with a head injury. And we're going to have to really do our best to recover from that. If we don't do our best, then that might be the end of it. That's the thing. At this age, I'm 69. If I had just said, oh, I have a concussion, this feels horrible, I'm not going on. I'm going to fall into this state of depression, of fear. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to go and get counseling and take pills. No way. You know what's better than counseling? I'm telling you. Now, nothing on neuropsychs. I've had some good neuropsychs with a head injury I had years ago. I had some people that just gave me good direction. Nothing against that. If you need it, you need it. Go for it. But this head injury, this latest one a couple months ago, I had all that under my belt. I had all their great advice under my belt. And so I said, when I got that head injury, I said, oh, hold on for the ride, Billy boy. I said, hold on for the ride, Billy boy, because it's going to be crazy, ain't it? It's really like, woo, 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 woo. That's the best way to describe it. There's good days and bad days, and then there's worse days. Very few good days. mostly bad days, and the worst days can threaten to take a person with a head injury's mind over. And that's what we need to prevent. So if you've had a recent head injury, recent stroke, talk to your doctor about working out, because you don't want to stress the vessels of the brain. I mean, it could cause another bleed. But most strokes aren't bleeds. Most strokes are occlusive strokes. So I'll let you know that. And most strokes are occlusive strokes. Most aren't bleeders. The head injuries all bleed. The traumatic brain injuries all have a bruising effect, a bleeding effect. Some worse than others. Some get into so bad you get into a subdural hematoma and maybe even need surgery to relieve the pressure of that bleeder. You know, we just keep on moving with these brain injuries. We can't stop. We have to, look, this is what you do. One more step. One more step. One more step. You keep moving forward. When you feel like you've fallen backward, move forward. My biggest thing for me that has helped me maintain this forward motion through brain injuries, I'm losing count of back surgeries, my shoulders rebuilt, maxillofacial reconstruction, all of it has been right there. Pray. This is the old guy signing off.